We're witnessing something pretty remarkable right now. Wall Street is beginning to make serious moves onto the blockchain. And honestly, that's an exciting shift, especially when you consider how traditional finance TradFi has operated for decades. It feels like we're at the very early stages of a much larger transformation. TradFi is finally starting to wake up to the idea of non-stop, around-the-clock trading. In fact, Nasdaq itself has already started floating the idea of offering 24/5 trading, 5 days a week without pause. But they're not stopping there. Their ultimate goal? Full 24/7 trading access. According to recent updates, they're targeting 2026 to roll out that functionality. If that happens, it would mark one of the most significant changes in the history of the financial markets. And it's not just Nasdaq. Robinhood has also been making some bold moves, showing they're going all in on crypto. They've been snapping up key platforms and positioning themselves to ride the next wave of digital finance. It's not surprising, especially when you see giants like BlackRock, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, and WisdomTree getting involved. These aren't small names. These are some of the biggest players in global finance, and they're not just dipping their toes in anymore. Some of the deals taking place even connect directly to Ripple and XRP, which adds another layer of momentum to the space. This could be the early signals of Wall Street going full force into crypto, not just through ETFs or funds, but through infrastructure and services that run on-chain. Let's start with a recent example. Robinhood has officially acquired donde, one of Canada's top crypto trading platforms. That move alone signals they're not just making promises, they're taking action. It's a clear sign that Robinhood is serious about crypto and intends to expand its presence aggressively. But this isn't a one-off deal. If we go back to the summer of 2024, Robinhood also announced plans to acquire Bitstamp, a well-established global crypto exchange. The transaction is expected to be finalized sometime in the first half of 2025, although we haven't heard any major public updates since. Still, we do know what's at stake and what Robinhood stands to gain. Here's why the Bitstamp acquisition matters. First, it gives Robinhood a pathway into the institutional market, a chance to offer services directly to liquidity providers, hedge funds, and financial institutions. That expands their reach far beyond retail investors. Second, it opens the door to a broader global market. Bitstamp already has licenses and customers across multiple jurisdictions, including the EU, United States, United Kingdom, Singapore, and the British Virgin Islands. Of course, any final deal still hinges on regulatory approvals, but the potential reach is massive. Third, Bitstamp brings serious scale and functionality. It's built to handle high-volume trading and is equipped to support advanced traders and institutions. That includes future features like institutional lending, white-label crypto services, staking, and even crypto-as-a-service options for eligible clients. And let's not forget about asset diversity. Bitstamp supports over 85 cryptocurrencies in certain regions, which significantly expands Robinhood's current offerings. In short, this is a major strategic acquisition that positions Robinhood to compete on a global scale. With the expected deal closure coming sometime in the first half of 2025, pending all the usual approvals, it's safe to say that this is a move with long-term implications. Right now, it may still be in regulatory limbo, but if it goes through, it could reshape how Robinhood is viewed, not just as a retail trading app, but as a serious contender in the institutional crypto space. This is something XRP holders really need to pay close attention to, because what's happening here directly involves both Ripple and XRP. There's a major development that's worth highlighting, and it connects several recent moves in the crypto space. Let me walk you through exactly why this matters. First, let's start with a timeline. Just days after Robinhood announced its acquisition of donde, Canada's leading crypto trading platform, they submitted an official proposal to the SEC. The goal? To establish clear guidelines for tokenizing real-world assets, a move that could unlock a $30 trillion market by bringing traditional finance onto blockchain infrastructure. That's not a small shift, it's a massive opportunity. Robinhood has been very vocal in pushing the SEC to create solid regulations for tokenized assets. They're not alone, either. Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, has also urged the SEC to accelerate progress on tokenization. When you see companies like BlackRock and Robinhood pressing regulators to act, it's a strong sign that institutional players are fully on board with bringing real-world value on-chain. What this shows is simple but powerful. The biggest names in finance are preparing to move into blockchain at scale. And Robinhood, which already plays a huge role in retail investing and is quickly building influence in the crypto space, is signaling that Wall Street isn't just dipping its toes anymore, it's diving in. Now let's go a little deeper and look at what the Robinhood acquisition of Bitstamp could mean specifically for Ripple and XRP. This isn't just another headline, it ties directly into what Ripple has been building. Ripple already has a strong presence on Bitstamp, and now with Robinhood stepping in to buy Bitstamp, there's a strategic alignment forming. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Bitstamp is currently developing a perpetual decentralized exchange perp DEX on the XRP ledger. That's a big deal. It's a derivatives exchange being built from the ground up using XRP's underlying technology. We've been tracking this development since around the middle of last year, roughly when the news of Robinhood's acquisition first surfaced. While we haven't seen official updates recently, all signs suggest that this project is still in motion. The timing is no coincidence. Robinhood is diving into tokenization, acquiring Bitstamp, and Bitstamp is building on the XRP ledger. It's all happening at once, and it's all pointing in the same direction. Institutions and Wall Street are gearing up for a blockchain-powered future, and XRP is sitting right in the middle of that transformation. To be clear, I believe this involves Ripple just as much as XRP. With institutional-level exchanges and platforms starting to build on the XRP ledger, Ripple's role in enabling and supporting those technologies becomes even more critical. This isn't just about speculation anymore, it's about infrastructure, liquidity, and regulatory alignment. Now let's bring in the regulatory side. Tokenization is quickly becoming a front and center issue for the SEC. As of May 12, the SEC's Crypto Task Force held a roundtable discussion focused entirely on tokenization, and the guest list wasn't small. Panelists included leaders from BlackRock, Fidelity, Nasdaq, and other major financial institutions. These are the titans of Wall Street, and they're now publicly engaging with regulators about tokenizing assets. So let's connect the dots. Wall Street is ready. The biggest names are actively pushing for tokenization. Robinhood is acquiring infrastructure. Bitstamp is building on the XRP ledger. Ripple is directly tied to that ecosystem, and XRP stands to benefit as the bridge between traditional finance and decentralized networks.